everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is really, really wonderful to be here with you all this evening. Earlier today, actually, still today, the sun's still up, was a holiday in Judaism. Literally every other day is a holiday in our tradition. But today is a good one, which is Tu B'Av, which is kind of like our Jewish Valentine's Day. It's a day all about love, honoring love and those we love. And so we bring in Shabbat today with a little bit of love. Love for one another, love for this community, and love for this tradition that gave us this day of rest. Thank God. So we join together in a wordless melody, an igun. Yadidai is a great way to pray. Join us when you get the hang of it. I should have mentioned hello. I'm Rabbi Eliana Fischel. I'm joined on the bima this evening, not by one beautiful voice, but two. We are blessed. This is Cantor Susan Bortnick and Cantor Suzanne Hamstra. And we are all really honored to be with you and celebrate Shabbat with you this evening. On Shabbat, we begin by lighting candles, by bringing in a little bit of light into this week, into whatever week we've had, whether it's been hard or wonderful, whether we have felt strong or weak, we bring in Shabbat with the light and warmth of these candles. And so we ask Rachel Furstein, who is so prepared, and I definitely didn't just ask her 2 seconds ago, to light our candles for Shabbat. Mm-hmm. Also the best sound for Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
Asher kichanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who loves us with mitzvot and commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. We'll continue on the top of page 6. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves together. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. We turn to page 12 for the Chunar Anana.
to see, hear our song.
That was my fault. Sorry. Lechuna Ramana.
Lechuna Ramana.
Further down on page 15. No, not 15. You turned the page on me. I was looking at your book. On page 13. Page 13, the second paragraph of Hebrew. Yismechu Hashemayim. Yismechu Hashemayim. Yismechu Hashemayim. Yismechu Hashemayim. V'tagel Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam lo, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam elulo, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam elulo, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam elulo, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz.
And we turn to page 20 to greet Shabbat as we would greet a beloved. We greet Shabbat with joy. We greet Shabbat knowing that we need its presence and its peace and its rest. And so when we reach the final verse of Lecha Dodi, we will rise and face the entrance as we would to greet a friend walking in, to greet someone we love, to greet a bride. And so we sing together on page 20, Lecha Dodi.
And as we sing together, we will join together in verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekavela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Yishmianu el ha'miuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litehila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela.
Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, נעשה במחשבה תחילה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, כי באורך קומי ובי שידברי, כבוד אדוני אלייך נגלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
You may be seated. And we turn to page 22. Tov lehodot ladonai. It is good to give thanks to you, O God.
טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון.
Company by Marcia Falk. The air is bathwater warm, the sky pale, its intensity drained. As you walk together through the prairie, up to your shoulders in grasses. At your sides, the loosestrife flames up violet, the cattails smolder brown. You cannot see the distance at all. You trust the cool mud slosh of the path and the sinking sun.
טוב להודות.
טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון.
You talk of what is absent in your lives by miracle or chance. One may know something of the other, but neither of you expects that. It is enough to walk together through deep grasses, content with the landscape and the season.
טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון.
We rise as we turn to page 28 for our call to worship. Baruch Hu.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
We turn to page 31 for a blessing for creation. Together at the top of the page. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv, Aravim. In this week's Torah portion, we have the original text of the Shema. And whenever we get to this portion at this time of year, I always think about how we say this prayer multiple times a day, definitely every Shabbat if you're here for Shabbat. And we can say it by rote. And we forget that this prayer was a revolution when it was written. The idea that there could be one God, that a whole group of people could worship only one God, that was a new idea. It was a revolutionary idea. Today, as we recite the Shema, the revolution is not in the idea that God is one, but rather in that first word, which is Shema, to listen. Unfortunately, it's become revolutionary just to listen, not to add your voice, not to make sure that your argument is the one that wins, but rather to fully, fully listen. We take a moment to reconnect to that word Shema, to reconnect to that idea of listen as we recite this statement of faith together.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. We continue on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We turn to page 40 for our people's song of freedom, the words that they sang as they crossed the Red Sea from Egypt into their new unknown life towards the promised land. Mi chamocha.
Yam bye bye bim bim bam, yam bye bye bim bam, yam bye bye bim bim bam, yam bye bye bim bam, ay 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 ay, yam bye bye bim bam, ay 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 ay, yam bye bye bim bam, mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele, malechutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, zeli anu ve'amru, Adonai Yum bye bye bim bim bam, yabba bye bye bim bam. Yum bye bye bim bim bam, yabba bye bye bim bam. Ay 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 ay, yabba bye bye bim bam. Ay 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 ay, yabba bye bye bim bam. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני יעל ישראל.
On page 42, we find our blessing Hashkivenu for protection and shelter on these summer evenings. I'm often reminded of this prayer as every afternoon it seems we have the potential of a storm or an actual massive, massive storm. And as the rain pours, as the lightning strikes, as the thunder roars, these words come to mind. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. As we lay down Adonai, protect us, shelter us from all that's out there that could possibly harm us. Page 42.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from thy storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from thy storms. Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu. Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu. Beshalom. Ve'ha'amidenu, shomrenu l'chaim, ufros aleinu, sukat shlomecha, hashkivenu, hashkivenu, hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Let there be love and Adonai Eloheinu, hashkivenu, be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
We continue on page 44, V'shamru b'nei Yisrael. Just as the Israelites kept Shabbat, we too keep and honor and celebrate Shabbat.
V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, וביום As we turn to page 46, we rise for our standing prayer, the Amidah. Adonai sefatai tiftahu fi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rab leHoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechakel Chaim Mechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishen Le'afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua. B'ne'eman atah lachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
You may be seated. We turn to the top of page 55 for a blessing for Shabbat. Let's join together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We turn to the top of page 57. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve and reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. It's our custom here. Yes.
I think. Hello. It's our custom here at Washington Hebrew that when we get to this prayer of Modim, this prayer of thanksgiving, that we allow ourselves the opportunity to rejoice in each other's joys, to rejoice in each other's simchas. So if you have a simcha to share from the last time you're at Washington Hebrew till now, or in the recent past or future, share it. We would love to hear it, whether it's a birthday or an anniversary, or if you ate a really good plate of French fries. We would love to hear what has brought you joy recently. Yes. Hey, Mazel Tov, a grandson getting further educated. Amen, wonderful. And for that, we'll say together, Modim Anachnu Lach, which means we are grateful. Hey, happy birthday for another year around the sun. We'll say, Modim Anachnu Lach. Anyone else? Yeah? for a good bathroom. Modim anachnu lach. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Mazel tov, mazel tov. For that first year of just like joy and awe and wonder, let's join together. Modim anachnu lach. Anyone else? Yes.
Yesterday, I got to meet my friend's new 3-month-old baby.
Oh, for new babies, I like them too. Modim anachnu lach. For anyone who doesn't know, I also have a 3-month-old baby at home.
My family and I marveled at the beautiful moon last night.
Beautiful, beautiful. For the marvels of nature, every day we say Modim anachnu lach. And I will add that I am so happy to be back here. This is my first service back from maternity leave, and it's a really wonderful thing to love what you do. So to love what we do. Modim anachnu lach. We join together at the bottom of 58 for all of these miracles, big or small. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ucha na'eh lehodot. We turn the page to page 60 for our blessing of peace. And while we ask for peace to be rained down upon all of us in our community, this evening we're especially thinking of those in Israel and in Gaza who reached a ceasefire this week, and we pray that that peace continues. Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom. Ki ata Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai Hamevarech et Amo Yisrael b'Shalom.
Now take a moment for silent prayer or reflection.
As we're together in community for Shabbat, we not only rejoice in our joys, but we also draw strength from this community. We draw strength for each other, for those sitting in this room, but also for those we're thinking of this evening, those who are in need of healing, whether it's healing of body, mind, or spirit. If you're thinking of someone today who's in need of healing, I'll ask that you share that name out loud with our community so that we can all think of that person and you as someone who cares for that individual. You can share their name out loud now.
Lisa and Zach.
We join together in the words of Mishaberach on page 253.
the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Yesterday, for the first time in my whole life, I went to Wegmans. Yeah. Modim and Achnullah. I am a foodie, and I was psyched. I could not wait. Seriously, this was my day off. I could not wait to show up to this unknown store, not know where anything is or what they would have, and just roam the aisles, discovering food and ideas anew. Wegmans did not disappoint. Guys, I got a plum cot, a mix between a plum and an apricot. I'm so excited to try this. While the food and aesthetic were astounding, the most wonderful moment happened as I was leaving. I shared the elevator down to my car with my full cart and two strangers. The doors closed, and after a few moments of silence, one of them looked at me and then the other and said out of nowhere, "When I was a boy, I used to go to this huge toy store in New York City, FAO Schwartz." "Yes, of course," I said. I knew it well. He continued, "I used to run through the aisles, amazed at everything they had there. I think this is my new FAO Schwartz." The other elevator rider and I laughed and then excitedly and passionately agreed. These three strangers began to tell each other of the treasures we had found just moments before and the glee those treasures induced. "I had back surgery a few years ago," the other stranger shared, "and used to walk up and down the aisles of Giant as exercise. No offense to Giant, but I wish this place was around then." Three strangers ventured into the unknown this week, and they came out with a lot of good groceries and a bit of new companionship. Not all adventures into the unknown are this positively anticipated. As humans, we do not really like the unknown. We like the familiar. We like having a set path and following it. We like setting goals and accomplishing them. But often, life does not go that way. At least, it didn't for Moses. This week's Torah portion, Vet Hanan, opens with a gut-wrenching and human plea. Moses, once again, pleads with God to let him cross over into the promised land. "Let me," Moses pleads, "I pray, cross over and see the good land on the other side of the Jordan." "We've been over this," God responds. "You're not allowed. Joshua will go in your place, and you will stay here. You will climb Mount Pisgah and gaze at the promised land from a distance." For decades, all Moses knew was a path to the promised land. His goal was the promised land. He defined his life as the leader who would lead his people to the promised land. And now, God forces him to live in the unknown, an unknown he did not anticipate nor want, a painful unknown, a lonely unknown. When faced with these painful and unknown moments in our lives, how do we cope with them? How do we experience success after failed interviews or job loss, when all we see is disappointment? How can we enjoy light when through mental or physical illness we are immersed in darkness? How can we possibly see joy in the unknown place of mourning when all we feel is pain and loss? How can we feel content on Mount Pisgah when we were promised the promised land? As many of you know, when I gave birth to my son 2 years ago, not my daughter this time, we discovered he had a congenital heart condition. A friend and a few congregants, actually, one's in the room, sent me this short essay to help with my understanding of this unknown, even though it was different from the authors. Welcome to Holland by Emily Pearl Kingsley. I'm often asked to describe the experience of raising a child with a disability, to try to help people who have not shared that unique experience to understand it, to imagine how it would feel. It's like this, Kingsley writes. When you're going to have a baby, it's like planning a fabulous vacation trip to Italy. You buy a bunch of of guidebooks and make your wonderful plans. The Colosseum, the Michelangelo David, the gondolas in Venice. You may learn some handy phrases in Italian. It's all very exciting. After months of eager anticipation, the day finally arrives. You pack your bags and off you go. Several hours later, the plane lands. The stewardess comes in and says, "Welcome to Holland." Holland, you say? What do you mean Holland? I signed up for Italy. I am supposed to be in Italy. All my life, I've dreamed of going to Italy. But there's been a change in the flight plan. They've landed in Holland, and there you must stay. The important thing is that they haven't taken you to a horrible, disgusting, filthy place full of pestilence, famine, and disease. It's just a different place. So you must go out and buy new guidebooks, and you must learn a whole new language, and you will meet a whole new group of people you would never have met. It's just a different place. It's slower paced than Italy, less flashy than Italy, but after you've been there for a while and you catch your breath, you look around, and you begin to notice that Holland has windmills, and Holland has tulips. Holland even has Rembrandts. But everyone you know is busy coming and going from Italy, and they're all bragging about what a wonderful time they had there. And for the rest of your life, you will say, yes, that's where I was supposed to go. That's what I had planned. And the pain of that will never, ever, ever, ever go away, because the loss of that dream is a very, very significant loss. But if you spend your life mourning the fact that you didn't go to Italy, you may never be free to enjoy the very special, the very lovely things about Holland. Throughout our lives, the unknown will happen again and again. When we show up in Holland, when we ascend on Mount Pisgah, we are going to be upset. We are going to feel pain. We are going to mourn. And we should do that for as long as we need. And then, after a while, we will begin to lift our heads. As Kingsley says, those in Holland will see windmills. Moses will take in the view, and after leading for so long, he may even enjoy the peace and quiet. And as for us, we will see the people, the strangers in the elevator who bond and connect over food, bringing immense joy in a difficult week. The friends who lift us up and manage our lives when we cannot. The strong and vibrant community that has traveled to the unknown with us. The unknown is littered with people who want to help. We just have to lift our eyes, see them, and ask. So tonight, perhaps some of us are saying Shabbat Shalom from Holland. Tomorrow, may we feel that that Shabbat Shalom is just as sweet.
Shabbat Shalom, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Please rise as we turn to page 282 for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tikru l'yotzer b'reshit, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והי אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. We've come now to the moment in our service of memory where we think of those who we have loved and lost. Today, Washington Hebrew remembers Rosa Backenheimer, David H. Barron, Sylvan Bensinger, Martha Bergner, Celia Berlinski, Harry Bernstein, Nina Birch, Estelle Birchman, Francis Brock, Joseph Carroll, Harry L. Davidson, Albert DeMarco, Richard Harold Dreisenstock, Jacob Edlovich, Fred Ehrlich, Carol Ann Uzent, Saul Areza, Edwin B. Feldman, David Frank, David Freeman, Linda M. Gittleson, Julius Goldstein, Samuel D. Gordon, Raphael Edwin Harsfield, Teresa S. Hyde, David Carlin, Charles Kaufman, Sarah Sue Kaufman, Bernice Bunny Kaufman, William Quiros, Bernard Kilsheimer, Renee Kraft, Henry B. Kreisman, David Krizak, Dr. David Lazaro, Max Lachey, Abraham Ross Lerner, Ernest M. Levin, Pauline Lewis, Dorothy K. Lukes, Janet G. Lukes, Erwin A. Lustig, Mary Ann Minkoff, Benjamin Max Monzak, Patricia Ann Montel, Moses A. Morris, Claire Nath, Fedora Jones Newfield, Wendy Ann Oxman, Morton H. Oppenheim, Ella Oppenheimer, Arthur G. Parquette, Donald Perlman, Stanley Rakusin, Sally R. Rich, Betsy Rosenblum, I believe, Albert Rosenblum, Bella Rosenfeld, Ann S. Ross, Roberta Wallach Ryan, Pamela Saltz, Irvin A. Schloss, Audrey W. Shorts, Marla Joan Schwartz, Babette Scher, Irene Sherman, Ella R. Sinker, Geraldine Citrick, Jacob Z. Slavin, Warren Stark, Mamie Sterling, Mitty Winishki, Sydney Weinreb, Harlan L. Weiss, Jerry Woolman, and those recently laid to rest: Michael Schechter, Irving Warshaw, Robert Mendelson, Jillian Wiener, Lindsay Wiener, Joshua Fogel, Mark Nash, Lauren Goldfarb, Michael McFadden, Robert Tukolsky. If I did not say the name of your loved one, or if I mispronounce the name of your loved one, I ask that you share that name out loud with our community now. With these names imprinted forever in our hearts, we rise on page 294 from Warner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam u'almei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudashah b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran ve'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. And we say together, Amen. You may be seated. We have a few announcements. First is actually not on this sheet, which is that if you are new to Washington Hebrew, welcome. We're so glad that you're here. We're glad you're all here. But if it's your first time Washington Hebrew, we're super glad you're here. Please, sometimes we don't know who to reach out to, so please come on up to us. Don't be afraid. At the end of services, we'll be outside, and we would really love to meet you. And welcome, welcome, welcome. A few upcoming events and things to know. Mark your calendars for Friday, September 9th, and come to Temple for our Welcome Home Shabbat and Fall Engagement Fair. This jam-packed evening includes a Tot Shabbat, dinner, our Shabbat service, consecration. We're putting it all on one night. You should come. It's going to be really, really fun, and you can find out more on our weekly emails or online. As you know, super exciting. Washington Hebrew's Board of Directors nominated Rabbi Sue Shankman to serve as our 7th senior rabbi. Thank God. A special members-only meeting will be held to vote on her nomination Thursday, August 25th at Temple and on Zoom. Please come and show your support, and we need you here to vote. So please come.
And if you participate on Zoom, you will be voting on Zoom.
Yes.
So if that's your option, it's okay. You're still voting.
Yes, and please RSVP so we know you're coming, so that we know who to anticipate. And the high holidays are just 6 weeks away.
That's just punishment.
So don't wait to order your tickets.
Every clergy person a heart attack.
Members, you should have received links to reserve your tickets. If you are not a member, contact us. We would love to have you join us. And please, you can look online as well. Finally, next week is our Falls Road Shabbat at our Julia Bindeman Suburban Center. So please join us for a very musical Shabbat with lots of food and Torah study. It's really a lot of fun. And of course, that's just a sampling. There's so much more happening here at Washington Hebrew. Please look at our website or at Life at WHC. That's our newsletter to see everything that you could possibly want to do. Every Shabbat, we increase our joy by reciting Kiddush. And so too this evening, we join together in these words of Kiddush, celebrating Shabbat and celebrating being together.
Yes. So actually, Ava, if you'd like to bring the challah up now so that you can join us for Kiddush.
That would be great.
And if there's anyone else who would like to join us up here on the bima for Kiddush, it will be followed by a blessing, which is nice. We have little Kiddush cups for Ava and whoever else joins us.
Yes.
Here, why don't we put the challah here so you can hold a Kiddush cup?
You can have some Kiddush.
Unless you don't like grape juice, in which case you can keep, you do, okay, perfect.
She does like grape juice.
Excellent. There's plenty of glasses, so you can drink one for Kiddush and then drink one with your challah. Perfect. We join together on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho v'ahava u'vratzon hinchilanu, v'zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'yetziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta v'yotanu kirashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava u'vratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chaim. Wait, don't go anywhere. Wait.
She's coming back.
Oh, okay. All right.
She didn't have enough hands. She didn't have enough
Oh,
hands.
right.
You ready? Oh, wrapped in everything. Look at that. COVID has taught us.
Someone's playing a trick.
We'll join together in Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avot. get a bite in a second. But wait, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
Hold on.
What I think is interesting, Ava, is that last week your dad and your sister were here. This week you and your mom are here. We need a time where we get the entire first-time family here.
Exactly.
But in the meantime, we will go ahead, as we blessed your sister last week, we'll bless
Exactly.
you this week.
Not to call her out, but does Cassie want to join us? Only if she wants.
And parents are allowed to join.
Yes, parents are definitely welcome.
Should we do sure since it's bigger? Yay!
There we go.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious and kind to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God be gracious to you and protect you and watch over you, and most importantly, grant you the greatest blessing of all, of wholeness and of peace.
Amen. Shabbat shalom. And with our blessings recited, we will join together in our concluding song, Shalom Alechem, which you can find on page 323. And following our concluding song, we hope you will join us at our Oneg Shabbat outside. And again, please feel free. I'm bantering so I can get everything. But please feel free, if whether you are new or whether you have been here many times, to please come up to us, introduce yourselves, introduce to each other, and enjoy our Oneg Shabbat, our delight together. We join together. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Barchuni.
Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem, Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.